Let me tell you something right now, something crucial that you absolutely must understand. Respect is not freely given, it is actively commanded, it is earned through demonstration. If you find yourself consistently in a position where people disregard your feelings, where they treat you as if your presence has little to no significance, then I need you to focus intently on what I'm about to say. This cycle of disrespect ends today. It simply must. I don't care about their identity, whether they are close friends, family members, colleagues at work, or even a romantic partner in a relationship. Absolutely no one possesses the inherent right to look down upon you, to exploit your kindness, or to diminish your sense of self-worth and make you feel insignificant. But let's be brutally honest with ourselves for a moment. People will, more often than not, treat you in a manner that you consciously or unconsciously permit. That's the very first thing we're going to address and rectify with unwavering determination right now. I'm about to impart to you 9 essential lessons, 9 powerful strategies, that will unequivocally ensure that no one, and I mean absolutely no one, ever dares to disrespect you ever again. Have you ever paused, even for a fleeting moment, to contemplate the reason behind why the sting of disrespect cuts so deeply into our very being? Why does it relentlessly tear at the delicate fabric of your self-esteem, leaving you feeling vulnerable and exposed? And perhaps most importantly, why, oh why, do we repeatedly allow this pattern of disrespect to continue, seemingly without end? Today, we're embarking on a profound journey of self-discovery. We're delving deep beneath the surface, metaphorically tearing off the old bandages and exposing the raw, painful, and often hidden truths about the vital importance of self-respect and the necessity of establishing clear and unwavering personal boundaries. We are confronting the uncomfortable aspects of our relationships, unpacking the messy emotional baggage we carry, and ultimately discovering the potent and transformative power of commanding respect, not merely passively asking or hoping for it. Therefore, get ready to transform how others perceive and treat you, starting now. It's time to take control. Every single lesson represents a tangible stride toward personal empowerment, a profound challenge to the established norms that govern your daily interactions. If you find yourself weary of the repetitive and disheartening cycle of being overlooked and consistently disappointed, I urge you to remain engaged with me. Furthermore, should you discern genuine value in the insights we are unearthing together here today, I warmly encourage you to consider subscribing to this channel. Do not merely sample fragments of the video, instead, dedicate your attention to viewing the entirety of the presentation. Your inherent respect and your intrinsic self-worth are far too precious to warrant only a half-hearted or incomplete effort. Let us, as a collective, delve directly into the very core of the matter at hand. Are you, esteemed viewer, truly prepared to witness those truths that have been deliberately concealed from your awareness, to ultimately reclaim what has always been rightfully and unequivocally yours? Without further ado, let us now immerse ourselves deeply into this vital topic. It is remarkably easy, unfortunately, to succumb to the pervasive trap of engaging in excessive self-explanation. Consider, for instance, a scenario in your professional life, perhaps at work, where a colleague directly questions the validity of your carefully considered approach to a significant project. Alternatively, picture a situation involving a close friend who simply cannot seem to comprehend the underlying rationale behind the specific life choices you have consciously made. In precisely these kinds of potentially fraught moments, the almost involuntary, knee-jerk reaction is often to launch into an elaborate and protracted justification, primarily with the explicit intention of definitively proving the inherent validity of your perspective and, crucially, seeking external validation for your actions. However, it is imperative that we now consciously take a deliberate step back from this ingrained behavior. We must thoughtfully examine the core question: why do we experience this pressing and undeniable need to explain ourselves to others? Is our motivation rooted in a genuine desire for their improved clarity and understanding, or is it ultimately driven by our own personal need for comfort and reassurance? This self-reflection is paramount to breaking free from the cycle of over-explaining. Consider this scenario for a moment. You make the choice to forego a planned group activity, perhaps feeling the need for some personal downtime, a straightforward decision, wouldn't you agree? However, when interrogated about your absence, you might find yourself crafting an elaborate explanation, perhaps even stretching the truth or slightly modifying the details to secure the approval of others. You are certainly not isolated in this behavior. Indeed, it represents a remarkably prevalent situation. Nevertheless, each superfluous word spoken diminishes your sense of self-assurance and subtly erodes your authentic self. Seneca, the renowned Stoic philosopher, would contend that genuine wisdom resides not in the pursuit of external validation but, rather, in the profound comprehension and unwavering respect for one's own internal rationale. It concerns aligning your actions harmoniously with your deeply held values, as opposed to conforming to the expectations imposed by others. Now, let us reconceptualize our approach. Envision articulating your decision with directness and simplicity, leaving it at that, devoid of embellishments or extended justifications, merely stating, "I am dedicating some time to myself this evening." Full stop. Reflect on the sheer power of such a statement. It communicates an unwavering confidence and a profound sense of self-respect. Furthermore, it serves to educate others that your choices possess inherent validity and do not necessitate external endorsement. This refined approach transcends the mere simplification of interactions, it fundamentally transforms them. Consequently, by embracing authenticity and eschewing unnecessary explanations, you not only strengthen your inner resolve but also cultivate more meaningful and respectful relationships with those around you. Thus, prioritize honest communication, thereby reflecting true strength and self-awareness. Stoicism elegantly transforms mundane, everyday choices into powerful affirmations of your deeply held values and personal boundaries. It is a philosophy that profoundly teaches us about the immense strength and significance of internal validation. Indeed, the eminent Marcus Aurelius, a stalwart of Stoic thought, perpetually underscored the notion that the capricious opinions of others should never be the definitive measure of our worth or the compass guiding our actions. He fervently believed in navigating through the intricate tapestry of life with a serene and unwavering confidence rooted in the inherent integrity of one's own considered decisions. Therefore, by consciously adopting and internalizing this empowering mindset, you not only effectively communicate to those around you that you are the sovereign master of your own destiny, firmly at the helm of your life's journey, but, perhaps even more importantly, you begin to believe this profound truth more deeply and resolutely within yourself. Consequently, the next time you experience that almost irresistible urge to launch into a lengthy and perhaps unnecessary explanation of yourself and your choices, I implore you to pause, to take a moment of mindful reflection. Remember the crucial lesson that you do not owe any individual, regardless of their perceived importance or influence, a meticulously detailed cartographic representation of the intricate labyrinth of your thoughts and the complex reasoning behind your decisions. The more diligently and consistently you practice this valuable skill of self-restraint and internal validation, the more seamlessly and naturally it will integrate into the very fabric of your being. Your choices, ultimately, are intrinsically and irrevocably your own to make, and they are inherently complete and valid, regardless of whether they are met with the understanding or enthusiastic approval of others. Embrace this liberating truth, and witness firsthand the transformative impact it has not only on the dynamic nature of your interactions with the external world but, even more significantly, how it profoundly reinforces your unwavering sense of self-respect, nurturing an unshakable foundation of inner peace and tranquility. When we delve into the nuanced concept of commanding your space, it extends far beyond merely the geographical location where you physically stand. Rather, it encompasses the totality of how you conduct and present yourself in every conceivable facet of your life, encompassing your words, actions, and even the subtle nuances of your demeanor. This entails establishing and upholding well-defined boundaries that mirror your profound self-respect and fundamental core values. Essentially, it involves unequivocally communicating to those in your vicinity that your personal domain, encompassing both your physical and emotional well-being, belongs solely to you and must invariably be treated with the utmost respect. To illustrate this point, let us envision a scenario in which you are participating in a meeting. In this collaborative environment, everyone is freely sharing their innovative ideas. However, when your turn arrives to contribute, others audibly talk over you, effectively silencing your voice. In this particular situation, effectively commanding your space could be as simple as raising your hand ever so slightly, thereby signaling to your colleagues to momentarily pause their discussion. Following this brief interruption, you can then proceed to confidently articulate your perspective. While seemingly a minor gesture, this action transmits a compelling message. I deeply value the insights that I have to offer, and therefore, I expect that you will accord them the same level of respect. Therefore, you assert your presence and demonstrate your worth. Now, shift your attention to a more intimate and personal environment, such as a family gathering, where deeply ingrained patterns of behavior often lead to the disregard of your established boundaries. In this setting, an individual might pose unduly invasive questions or make comments that blatantly overstep the boundaries of your established comfort zone. Commanding your space in this specific context necessitates preparedness to firmly state, I am not comfortable engaging in a discussion on that particular topic. Furthermore, if the situation warrants it, physically removing yourself from the environment becomes a viable option. This is not merely about cultivating a sense of comfort and ease, rather it's fundamentally about reinforcing your inherent autonomy and solidifying the unwavering principle that your emotional environment is, without exception, yours to control and safeguard. Thus, protecting yourself from unwanted discomfort and maintaining control over your own emotional well-being. Embarking on a journey guided by Stoic principles, we discover Epictetus' profound wisdom. Certain aspects of existence lie within our dominion, while others remain beyond our grasp. Specifically, our reactions, choices, and personal boundaries reside firmly within the realm of what we can influence. Thus, by resolutely establishing and upholding these boundaries, we engage in a practice akin to Stoic discipline. We concentrate our energies on our immediate sphere of influence, steadfastly refusing to allow external pressures to undermine our inner tranquility. Furthermore, commanding your personal space extends to the subtle, yet potent, nonverbal signals you project. For example, your reaction when unexpectedly interrupted, your response to uninvited counsel, or your approach to a friend who habitually cancels plans at the 11th hour, all meticulously reflect your perception and valuation of your own authority within the tapestry of your life. Therefore, these minute interactions act as barometers of your self-respect and autonomy. When you effectively command your space, it's not about resorting to boisterousness or aggression. Instead, the essence lies in cultivating firmness and consistency. Indeed, consistency emerges as a crucial element. It serves to educate others about your expectations, teaching them the acceptable and unacceptable ways to engage with you. In essence, it sets the stage for respectful interactions. Each instance of successfully commanding your space contributes to a gradual accumulation of respect from others. More significantly, however, it reinforces your own self-regard. Consequently, you are bolstering your sense of self-worth with each boundary you enforce. You are solidifying the conviction that you deserve respect and consideration. Thus, by embracing these principles, you cultivate not only external respect but, more importantly, a profound sense of self-respect, paving the way for a more empowered and fulfilling existence. In this way, each small act of self-assertion contributes to a larger tapestry of self-respect and personal empowerment. The essence isn't about instigating disputes, rather, it's about acknowledging and respecting your intrinsic value. When you firmly establish this foundation, the world surrounding you inevitably adapts. This adaptation, evolving through the passage of time, significantly elevates not only the manner in which you are treated by others, but also the way you perceive and esteem yourself. Indeed, confidence transcends being merely a transient feeling, it serves as a profound declaration, a message you project to the world, articulating your identity and beliefs about yourself. This self-assurance is mirrored in every footstep you take, every gesture you execute. Furthermore, it speaks volumes even before you utter a single word. Imagine the power of that silent communication. When you confidently enter any room, you are not simply transitioning from point A to point B. Instead, you are boldly announcing your presence, staking your claim to the space, and, crucially, establishing the atmosphere for all subsequent interactions. Therefore, visualize yourself approaching a crucial job interview. You possess the option to enter with slumped shoulders and your gaze fixed firmly on the floor. This posture might subtly suggest to the interviewers that you are uncertain of yourself or inadequately prepared for the challenge ahead. Alternatively, you can choose to stride confidently into the room, with your shoulders drawn back, and make direct, engaging eye contact while offering a firm, yet friendly, handshake. Therefore, even without uttering a single word, you have already communicated a powerful message, that you are self-assured, poised, and entirely ready to engage in a meaningful and productive dialogue. This initial impression sets the stage for a successful interaction and significantly enhances your chances of making a positive and lasting impact. The power of confidence truly cannot be overstated. This subtle yet powerful nonverbal signal can profoundly affect the initial impression you create, often possessing an impact comparable to your spoken words. Now, picture this typical social situation. You find yourself attending a networking event or a festive gathering where you are unfamiliar with the majority of the attendees. Navigating through the throng of people with a clear sense of purpose, even if you are experiencing internal feelings of nervousness, fundamentally alters how others view you. Individuals perceive you as someone who is open and readily approachable, someone who appears to be comfortable and integrated within the environment. This favorable perception, therefore, has the potential to unlock dialogues and opportunities that might otherwise remain inaccessible if you present yourself in a tentative or reserved manner. The esteemed philosopher Epictetus astutely emphasized the importance of concentrating our efforts on aspects that lie within our sphere of influence, and undoubtedly, our demeanor falls squarely within this category. Walking with an air of self-assurance is a deliberate and conscious decision, a tangible and physical expression of the Stoic philosophy of self-control and self-mastery. In essence, it is about embodying the core principle that, while we are unable to exert control over external occurrences and circumstances, we do possess the power to govern our own reactions and responses, which include our nonverbal communication, or body language. Furthermore, adopting a confident gait not only projects an image of competence and worthiness to others but also reinforces these very qualities within yourself. It is a self-affirming act that reminds you of your inherent capabilities and value. Thus, by consciously choosing to walk with confidence, you are actively shaping both your external image and your internal self-perception, leading to a more positive and empowering experience. It is, in essence, a powerful method of self-affirmation. Every assured stride you make acts as a subtle, yet significant, declaration of your inherent self-worth and your very capacity to exert influence upon the world around you. Gradually, these deliberate actions not only reshape the perceptions that others hold of you, but they also profoundly alter the way you perceive yourself. They cultivate a more resilient self-image, a steadfast sense of identity, and a more profound conviction in your own untapped potential. When you navigate the world with unwavering confidence, you are not merely engaging in pretense or staging a performance for an audience. Rather, you are meticulously harmonizing your outward actions with your innermost values and core beliefs. In doing so, you are actively embracing the age-old Stoic ideal of living in accordance with nature, specifically, your own authentic nature, which is inherently strong, abundantly capable, and naturally self-assured. This harmonious alignment not only elevates the quality of your interactions with those around you, but it also serves to deepen and enrich the very relationship you have with yourself. It is fundamentally about proclaiming, with each and every step you undertake, that you hold yourself in high regard and, consequently, expect that same level of respect from others. You might be tempted to believe that consistently needing to have the final word or impulsively responding to each and every instance of criticism is indicative of strength, but, more often than not, the stark opposite proves to be true. Silence, in fact, can be a far more potent and valuable ally than you might initially realize or readily appreciate. Therefore, consider the quiet strength found in measured responses and confident self-possession. It speaks volumes. The essence of impactful communication lies not in suppressing one's voice due to apprehension or doubt, but rather in judiciously selecting moments to articulate oneself with wisdom, ensuring that each word resonates with significance and influence. Envision yourself immersed in a spirited debate within the workplace, where anxieties run high and the atmosphere is charged with divergent viewpoints. The instinctive urge to interject, to safeguard your standpoint or rectify a misunderstanding, is undeniably strong. Nevertheless, contemplate the alternative path, a deliberate pause, attentive listening, and allowing a moment of tranquility to permeate the space. This brief interlude of silence can command greater attention than the most skillfully delivered oration. Within this stillness, one is not merely biding time, instead, one is engaging in profound reflection, seeking deeper comprehension, and assuming command of the unfolding narrative without uttering a single syllable. Silence affords the precious opportunity to gather one's thoughts, to temper the intensity of emotions, and to consciously detach from the impulsive reaction to engage in counter-argumentation. This strategic approach extends beyond mere tactics. It represents a profound exercise in self-mastery and self-respect, values that form the very bedrock of Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, the revered Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, firmly believed that it is fundamentally essential for an individual to be the master of oneself, possessing the ability to regulate one's emotions and actions, and to avoid being swept away by the currents of uncontrolled emotions. This deliberate control over one's reactions, as advocated by Stoicism, allows for more thoughtful and impactful communication, thereby transforming silence into a powerful tool for both personal and professional growth. Thus, the judicious use of silence transcends mere absence of speech. It becomes a potent form of communication, fostering deeper understanding, commanding attention, and ultimately, empowering the individual to wield greater influence. By consciously embracing silence, one is, in effect, actively practicing self-discipline. This involves asserting a degree of control over one's immediate reactions and, consequently, ensuring that when you ultimately choose to articulate your thoughts, your utterances are well considered and carefully measured. Furthermore, the strategic application of silence can fundamentally reshape the way individuals perceive you within a social setting. When you cultivate a habit of speaking less frequently, yet with a heightened degree of thoughtfulness and precision, people tend to listen more intently and with greater respect when you eventually decide to share your perspectives. This judicious and selective use of words can, in turn, construct an aura of intriguing mystery and undeniable authority around your persona, thereby substantially enhancing your overall presence in virtually any environment or social gathering. Consider, too, the inevitable personal conflicts that one might encounter throughout the course of life, perhaps with cherished friends or beloved family members. These potentially volatile situations can often escalate with alarming speed, largely due to the impulsive and often regrettable words that are uttered in the heat of anger or frustration. In such delicate circumstances, silence can serve as an invaluable protective shield. It possesses the remarkable ability to prevent the situation from spiraling further into negativity, simultaneously affording both parties involved in the disagreement a crucial opportunity to step back from the immediate conflict and approach the underlying issue with a calmer, more rational, and more composed frame of mind. In these pivotal moments, silence has the potential to be the bridge to mutual understanding and peaceful resolution, rather than the imposing wall that heated arguments so often construct between individuals. Indeed, we have all experienced those moments, haven't we? Times when we find ourselves attempting to fit into a predetermined mold, altering our very essence to seamlessly match the metaphorical wallpaper in each new room we enter, desperately hoping for a simple nod of approval, a reassuring smile of acceptance, or perhaps even a fleeting pat on the back as a symbol of validation. This pursuit of external validation, however, can often lead us away from our authentic selves and into a state of constant self-doubt. The relentless pursuit of validation, it's utterly draining, wouldn't you agree? This perpetual quest for approval not only saps your vitality but also, insidiously, erodes the very foundation of your authentic self. However, there exists a profoundly liberating truth that can reshape your existence. The attainment of universal approval is not a prerequisite for a life brimming with fulfillment and purpose. Envision this scenario: you find yourself at an elegant dinner party. The conversation gracefully meanders until it lands upon a subject that ignites your passions. You possess deeply held opinions, perhaps even unconventional ones, that could potentially provoke raised eyebrows or even mild disagreement. Now comes the pivotal moment. Do you dilute your stance, subtly softening your perspective to seamlessly blend into the prevailing narrative, or do you summon the courage to voice your genuine thoughts, thereby risking the disapproval of some present? Each instance where you resolutely choose authenticity over the fleeting allure of approval serves as a powerful reinforcement of your self-esteem, bolstering your confidence and solidifying your sense of self-worth. Certainly, it is inevitable that not every individual will concur with your viewpoints, and that, my friend, is perfectly acceptable. The profound respect you garner from embracing genuineness, from daring to be true to yourself, far surpasses the ephemeral gratification derived from the mere act of conformity. This is because authenticity resonates on a deeper level, fostering genuine connections and building lasting relationships. But let us delve deeper into the genesis of this craving for approval. Why do we, as human beings, so desperately yearn for the validation of others? Could it perhaps stem from an underlying sense of doubt, a lingering uncertainty regarding our own inherent worth and capabilities? Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of resilience and self-control, offers a compelling alternative. It teaches us to cultivate internal validation, to seek affirmation from within rather than relying on the fickle opinions of the external world. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wisely penned that the approval of others should indeed be considered, acknowledged as a factor in our lives, but never, under any circumstances, should it be coveted, never allowed to dictate our actions or define our sense of self. Therefore, embrace your authentic voice, cherish your unique perspective, and remember that your worth is not determined by the approval of others. He eloquently posits that inner peace emanates from within, emphasizing that the only validation of genuine significance is self-approval. Adopting this perspective fundamentally alters your attention, redirecting it from external perceptions to your own self-assessment. Visualize navigating your daily life with an unwavering commitment to authenticity, making choices rooted in your personal convictions rather than the desire to appease others. This assertion does not diminish the importance of external feedback, rather, it underscores that such input should not dictate the course of your life. Consequently, ceasing the pursuit of external affirmation empowers you to make choices that resonate more deeply with your authentic self. This harmonious alignment between your actions and your inner values cultivates confidence and genuineness, paradoxically attracting sincere respect and admiration from those around you. Reflect upon a hypothetical scenario. Imagine undertaking a project at work. Instead of continuously seeking reassurance that you are on the correct trajectory, cultivate trust in your own instincts and present the finished project with unwavering self-assurance. The disparity in perception, self-assured versus uncertain, can profoundly influence the feedback you ultimately receive. Therefore, embracing self-reliance and internal validation can unlock a newfound sense of freedom and empowerment, allowing you to navigate the world with greater confidence and authenticity. Embracing this philosophy allows one to experience a richer, more fulfilling existence, free from the constraints of external expectations. One might argue that this journey of self-discovery and acceptance is the key to unlocking one's true potential and living a life of purpose. Therefore, strive to cultivate this inner peace and watch as your relationships and overall well-being flourish. Individuals typically hold in high esteem those who demonstrate both decisiveness and unwavering confidence in their envisioned future. When one manages to break free from the restrictive shackles of constantly seeking external validation and approval, they effectively liberate a significant portion of their emotional bandwidth. This newly freed mental space can then be reallocated towards more imaginative and notably more fruitful undertakings. Consequently, You will likely find yourself drawn to engaging in activities that deeply resonate with your innermost being, with your very soul. Furthermore, this shift will pave the way for the formation of more profound and substantially more meaningful relationships with individuals who genuinely appreciate and value the authentic version of yourself. It is crucial to understand that this approach is not about entirely disregarding the opinions or needs of others. Rather, it centers around ensuring that your inherent sense of self-worth is not solely and precariously dependent on the judgments and perceptions of those around you. In a world that is perpetually bustling with an overwhelming cacophony of noise, where seemingly everyone is engaged in a relentless pursuit of self-promotion, loudly proclaiming their accomplishments from the metaphorical rooftops, there exists a profound and often underestimated strength in consciously choosing a different, more understated path. This path involves allowing your actions to speak volumes on your behalf. It is fundamentally about embodying the time-honored principle that true merit, genuine worth, does not necessitate constant broadcasting or relentless self-advertisement. Instead, it naturally and organically commands attention through the tangible results it produces. Consider, for instance, a typical scenario that might unfold within the confines of a workplace environment. Imagine two employees, both vying for a coveted promotion. One employee is exceedingly vocal about each and every task they complete, diligently and consistently seeking recognition and praise for their efforts. The other employee, in stark contrast, quietly and diligently meets their predetermined goals, allowing the inherent quality and demonstrable impact of their work to speak for itself. Thus, the latter demonstrates the power of letting actions speak louder than words. As time unfolds, it is frequently the understated and often unseen individual who garners enduring respect and profound credibility. Their diligent efforts gradually transform into a tangible demonstration of their inherent competence, far surpassing mere verbal declarations. This deliberate approach not only cultivates a robust and lasting professional reputation but, more importantly, nurtures a deep sense of intrinsic satisfaction. This satisfaction is not contingent upon fleeting external validation or the fickle opinions of others. This particular method of self-presentation finds its firm foundations deeply embedded in the venerable teachings of Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes the inherent value of virtue as its own, self-sufficient reward. Seneca, undoubtedly one of Stoicism's most revered and influential thinkers, profoundly taught that genuine and lasting fulfillment springs forth from one's own ethical and morally sound actions, rather than from the fleeting applause or superficial recognition they might happen to receive. Therefore, by steadfastly focusing your energy and attention on the tangible outcomes of your actions, as opposed to the potentially misleading allure of external acclaim, you align yourself more closely with the timeless ideals of Stoicism, thereby cultivating a life characterized by unwavering integrity and a clear, purposeful direction. Now, let us consider a vivid example. Imagine for a moment that you are embarking upon a brand new health regimen, a personal journey towards enhanced well-being. You have two distinct paths available to you. On the one hand, you could diligently post every single workout session on various social media platforms, actively seeking likes, comments, and the fleeting encouragement of online strangers. On the other hand, you could quietly and persistently persevere, allowing the undeniable physical transformations to gradually speak for themselves, serving as a silent testament to your dedication. The latter approach not only skillfully avoids the potentially destabilizing emotional roller coaster of online validation but, more significantly, profoundly strengthens your personal resolve and unwavering commitment to your chosen path. Consequently, this intrinsic motivation proves far more durable and rewarding than any fleeting external praise. It's not about cloaking yourself in secrecy, but rather about nurturing a source of motivation that springs from within, a wellspring that proves far more enduring. Embracing this philosophy signifies that each undertaking you embark upon, each task you bring to fruition, metamorphoses into a vital brick in the very foundation of your personal monument, a testament to self-respect and unshakable confidence. When you allow your deeds to resonate, when you let your actions articulate your worth, you are effectively communicating to the world, and perhaps even more significantly to yourself, that you place an intrinsic value on substance, on genuine merit, above mere superficial display. This is not to suggest that you recoil from sharing your hard-earned accomplishments, quite the contrary. It simply implies that your achievements are so strikingly evident, so undeniably tangible in their impact, that they inevitably and organically garner the recognition they so richly deserve. By gracefully allowing your actions to speak volumes, you consciously cultivate a compelling persona that is fundamentally defined by unwavering authenticity and unwavering reliability. You progressively morph into the individual who doesn't merely make promises, but consistently and demonstrably delivers on them. This deliberate practice constructs not only external trust, fostering robust and enduring relationships, but also profoundly deepens your own self-trust, that bedrock inner conviction that arises from knowing you are genuinely living a life that is wholly congruent with your deeply held values. This very congruence, this harmonious alignment between your actions and your beliefs, is what the Stoic philosophers, those ancient sages of wisdom, perceived as the very essence of a life lived well, a life characterized by the attainment of profound peace and enduring contentment achieved through the unwavering commitment to living true to one's own inner compass. Thus, it becomes a powerful and self-reinforcing cycle. Authentic action leads to authentic recognition, which further strengthens self-belief and fuels future authentic action. It's a journey of continual self-improvement and alignment with your core values, leading to a more meaningful and fulfilling existence. Embarking on any life's adventure, it is inevitable that you will face a combination of influences, some acting as powerful engines propelling you onward, while others exert a force seemingly designed to hold you back. These detrimental forces can originate from a myriad of sources, perhaps a consistently pessimistic friend, a coworker who consistently demoralizes those around them, or even a family member who, perhaps unintentionally, saps your vitality and leaves you feeling depleted. Identifying these individuals who drain your energy and, more importantly, learning to create a healthy distance from them is not merely an act of indulgent self-care, it is, in fact, a fundamentally crucial strategy. This strategy is essential for the sustained maintenance of your personal growth trajectory and your overall sense of happiness and well-being. Picture, if you will, a scenario in which you are meticulously planning a significant project, one that truly ignites your passion and fills you with a sense of boundless potential. However, each and every time you attempt to share your burgeoning ideas with a specific friend, they consistently cast doubt upon your well-laid plans, highlighting potential risks and pitfalls instead of recognizing the abundant opportunities that lie within. This relentless and unwavering negativity can, over time, begin to exert a significant weight on your initial enthusiasm, gradually transforming your vibrant passion into a state of debilitating anxiety. Now, allow yourself to contemplate just how dramatically different your energy levels and overall outlook would be if you consciously surrounded yourself with individuals who actively uplift and empower you, reinforcing your innate ability to effectively tackle challenges and overcome obstacles with resilience and grace. Stoicism, that ancient and profound philosophy, imparts to us the paramount importance of focusing our attention and efforts on those aspects of our lives that are within our direct control. This includes, most notably, our own responses to external stimuli and, crucially, the deliberate choices we make regarding the individuals with whom we choose to spend our precious time. Thus, by consciously cultivating a supportive and positive social circle, we actively contribute to our own personal growth and enduring happiness. Therefore, surrounding yourself with positive influences becomes not just a preference, but a necessity for a fulfilling life. Epictetus, a towering figure in Stoic philosophy, offers us profound insights. He advocates for the mindful allocation of our energies. Indeed, he believed we must consciously avoid squandering our precious reserves on individuals or situations that disrupt our internal equilibrium. Consequently, severing connections with those who consistently deplete your vitality represents a Stoic practice of self-preservation. This deliberate action ensures that your surroundings contribute positively to your overall well-being. It protects your inner peace, preventing it from being eroded by negativity. However, this philosophy doesn't suggest a ruthless or inconsiderate expulsion of people from your life. It is not about abruptly cutting ties without consideration for the other person's feelings. Instead, it emphasizes a heightened awareness of those interactions that leave you feeling emotionally exhausted and depleted. Therefore, it encourages deliberate decision-making aimed at safeguarding your personal energy. For example, picture this scenario: you consistently find that conversations with a particular acquaintance leave you feeling significantly worse than before the interaction. In such cases, it might be judicious to curtail your exposure to this individual. Alternatively, you could consider transforming the very nature of your interactions. Perhaps shifting the focus to more neutral topics or limiting the duration of your conversations. This approach is not rooted in unkindness. It's fundamentally about exercising prudence with your emotional resources. In essence, it's about recognizing the value of your mental health. Taking proactive steps to distance yourself from detrimental influences is an act of empowerment. It is a powerful declaration. It signifies that you cherish yourself enough to vigorously defend your mental and emotional sanctuary. By doing so, you cultivate a space of tranquility and resilience, allowing you to flourish. In conclusion, Stoicism encourages us to be active guardians of our own well-being. Every decision to decline an energy-draining interaction is, in effect, an affirmation of greater tranquility, heightened positivity, and increased personal empowerment. This deliberate and discerning approach to nurturing relationships consequently allows you to dedicate yourself more completely to those connections that genuinely enrich your existence and resonate harmoniously with your core values and aspirations. It's a straightforward yet deeply insightful observation that actively pursuing attention through supplication or excessively forceful strategies can, counterintuitively, alienate individuals rather than attract them into your orbit. When you discover yourself perpetually engaged in a relentless pursuit of external validation, it not only induces a sense of profound exhaustion but also significantly undermines your inherent self-esteem and personal autonomy. Pause for a moment to contemplate a familiar social dynamic. Picture yourself situated within a group setting, and you gradually begin to perceive a sense of being overlooked or disregarded. Perhaps, almost instinctively, you begin to elevate your vocal volume, interject into the conversations of others, or articulate sweeping pronouncements with the express intention of capturing a few fleeting glances or a fragment of interaction. While these tactics might yield temporary results, they are, at best, superficial and ultimately unsustainable. Individuals possess an innate capacity to detect desperation, and quite often, this perception prompts them to withdraw rather than actively participate in the interaction. Now, envision an alternative scenario wherein you contribute thoughtfully and deliberately, offering your insights and perspectives only when you genuinely believe you have something meaningful and substantial to impart. Furthermore, imagine that you actively engage in attentive listening when others are speaking, demonstrating genuine interest and respect for their contributions. This approach, therefore, fosters genuine connection and mutual respect, attracting others not through a desperate grab for attention, but through the strength of authentic engagement and thoughtful contribution. Consequently, building relationships grounded in genuine value and mutual respect leads to far more rewarding and fulfilling interactions. This seemingly paradoxical approach, one that might initially lead to diminished immediate attention, can, rather ironically, elevate your standing among your colleagues, fostering a sense of intrigue and deep respect. Stoicism, with its enduring wisdom, illuminates a path where genuine admiration and deserved recognition are cultivated through the virtues of character, insightful wisdom, and authentic human interaction, rather than through displays of forceful demands or coercive tactics. A Stoic-inspired methodology would first and foremost champion the cultivation of profound self-respect. Indeed, Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, penned extensively about the indispensable nature of self-reliance as a cornerstone for acquiring the esteem of others. Aurelius firmly believed that the only validation truly worthy of acceptance is that which emanates from your own discerning judgment, evaluating your actions as just, virtuous, and aligned with your moral compass. This resonates deeply, underscoring the significance of internal validation over fleeting external praise. Within the context of professional environments, this principle holds equally compelling validity. Picture, if you will, a scenario where you find yourself at your workplace, perhaps feeling undervalued and overlooked for the significant contributions you diligently make. Instead of resorting to loud complaints or aggressively demanding recognition for your efforts, you choose to consistently deliver outstanding results, exceeding expectations in every task you undertake. You maintain an unwavering focus on your assigned duties, allowing the quality and impact of your work to speak eloquently for itself, negating the need for self-promotion. As time progresses, your unwavering consistent performance, marked by excellence and dedication, becomes undeniably impossible to ignore. Consequently, you garner not only the deserved recognition for your skills and accomplishments, but also, perhaps even more importantly, you earn the unwavering respect of your peers for your exemplary professionalism, unwavering commitment, and the profound dedication you bring to your work. This earned respect becomes a far more valuable and enduring reward than any fleeting moment of attention. Thus, embracing the Stoic approach ultimately cultivates a more profound and lasting sense of fulfillment. Furthermore, abandoning the relentless quest for attention and, in its place, permitting your conduct and inherent qualities to articulate your essence, you draw to yourself a qualitatively superior form of recognition. This admiration, born of genuine trust and profound respect, stands in stark contrast to the fleeting and often superficial validation sought by many. Such acknowledgement proves infinitely more gratifying, for it originates not from a fabricated facade crafted solely for visibility, but from the unvarnished truth of your being. Consequently, there are moments when the most valiant act you can undertake is not to assume a defiant stance, but rather to simply turn and depart. Grasping the point at which a circumstance no longer aligns with your paramount welfare and summoning the fortitude to extract yourself from it constitutes a deeply significant skill. This withdrawal is not a concession to defeat, quite the opposite, it is a resounding proclamation of self-worth. Visualize, if you will, a scenario. You find yourself ensnared in a position that relentlessly saps your vitality, day after agonizing day. The atmosphere surrounding you is poisonous, the tasks assigned offer no sense of fulfillment. Each dawn, you awaken with a palpable sense of dread, anticipating the hours to come. To persevere, to remain steadfast in the face of such adversity, may initially present itself as the courageous course of action, a testament to your unwavering resolve and resilience. However, let us ponder this further. Is it truly an act of bravery to cling to a situation that breeds unhappiness within you? Or does true valor reside in acknowledging the inherent incongruity, in recognizing that this particular path is not conducive to your well-being, and in resolutely choosing to embark upon a different trajectory, one that leads toward superior prospects where you possess the potential to flourish? Therefore, choosing to walk away becomes the ultimate act of courage. Deciding to step away from a situation is rarely a simple matter of altering one's employment. Instead, it often represents a profound act of self-respect and adherence to one's innermost convictions. This practice finds deep resonance within the tenets of Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes the importance of acting in accordance with reason and virtue, remaining unperturbed by external forces. Indeed, the esteemed Seneca wisely counseled that we should not needlessly endure negative experiences, particularly when they impede our capacity to lead a life of virtue. Now, let us turn our attention to the realm of personal relationships. It may be that you find yourself enmeshed in a friendship or romantic entanglement that has become markedly unbalanced. You may be giving far more than you receive in return, experiencing feelings of increasing neglect and a sense of being undervalued. A great many individuals remain bound to such relationships out of apprehension, the fear of solitude, the fear of the unknown, or the fear of acknowledging a perceived failure. However, the act of gracefully stepping away can often usher in a newfound sense of liberty and serenity. Therefore, it creates opportunities in your life for the development of more wholesome relationships that are based on joy and mutual respect. This notion directly reflects the Stoic conviction that it is far preferable to be alone than to find oneself in the company of those who are detrimental to one's well-being. In this way, Choosing to walk away aligns with the pursuit of a more virtuous and fulfilling existence. Furthermore, mastering the art of disengagement extends far beyond the realm of personal connections, reaching into the tapestry of everyday disagreements and confrontations. In these everyday situations, applying Stoic principles can drastically improve one's peace of mind. Instead of succumbing to heated arguments, which invariably tend to escalate and disrupt our inner equilibrium, deliberately choosing to step back and disengage can effectively preserve your inner peace. This strategic retreat, it should be emphasized, does not imply avoidance of crucial issues or a shirking of responsibility. Rather, it signifies a conscious and deliberate choice to select your battles with wisdom and discernment. It's a recognition that not every disagreement warrants a full-blown confrontation. Therefore, sometimes, the most effective resolution lies in gracefully letting go and accepting the situation as it is. By diligently practicing the art of walking away from potentially volatile situations, you actively cultivate a life that is fundamentally more aligned with your deeply held values and markedly less burdened by unnecessary strife and conflict. Each deliberate step away from a negative situation or toxic environment represents a significant step towards a more fulfilling and enriching life. This is a life where your surroundings and interpersonal relationships actively support and enhance your overall well-being, contributing to a sense of contentment and purpose. Indeed, in the intricate and often unpredictable journey of life, knowing precisely when to walk away from a situation can be just as profoundly powerful and advantageous as knowing when to persevere and stay committed. It's fundamentally about honoring your inherent worth, deeply respecting your personal peace and tranquility, and embracing the courage to act decisively on your convictions and principles, even when it's challenging. Thus, you assert your boundaries and protect your emotional and mental space. Thank you sincerely for being a valued and integral part of the community. We deeply appreciate your engagement and support. For more profound insights and practical guidance on living a balanced, meaningful, and fulfilling life, be sure to explore and watch one of the thoughtfully suggested videos prominently displayed on your screen. These resources are designed to provide you with additional tools and perspectives to navigate life's complexities with grace and resilience. Embark on a captivating expedition with us, a transformative voyage designed to fundamentally alter your perception and interaction with the world around you. Therefore, let us guide you as you redefine your understanding of the world. Prepare to be amazed as we reshape your very experience of navigating this intricate and fascinating planet. We offer a groundbreaking approach, thus opening up new horizons and possibilities for exploration and discovery. Join us, and together we will revolutionize the way you perceive, interact with, and traverse the globe. Consequently, you'll never look at the world the same way again.